Hi there, folks. Welcome to another episode of Michael's Backyard Marina. We're starting this one off in the basement. Why, you ask? Well, this video is sponsored by DC House. DC House has provided me with two LiFePO batteries, two 12-volt, 100-amp-hour LiFePO batteries. And the conversation I had with them is I will not sign a contract with you, but if you want to provide batteries for me to review and compare to my current batteries, I'd be happy to do so. So that's what this is all about. So right now, I've got, these are the DC House 100-amp-hour batteries, and I'll be comparing them against my 12-volt, 800-amp-hour lifetime batteries. Now, you guys know I've had the lifetime batteries now for a little while, and paid good money for them. Let's say I got 3 of them for about $1,000. Now, I'm here to tell you that these DC House are considerably less money. They're 100 amp hour, and we're going to compare them to my lifetime. I told DC House, I said, I'll compare them to my current batteries. If they don't measure up, you're not getting a video. So if you're seeing this video, well, that's because they measure up, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to test them. Now, what I've done here is I got my 2x4 NoCo Genius, and these are the two DC Houses right now. Fully charged, green, not blinking. As you see, right before they're fully charged, you'll see these are my lifetimes are still charging. They'll be fully up here and blinking slowly. When they go solid green, they're 100% charged, ready to go into play. So we're going to stick these in the old tracker boat, and we're going to stick the trolling motor down in some water, and we're going to run it, and we're going to time how long it runs at, let's just call it speed 6. It has, you know, beep, 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 beep. You can't tell what speed. All I can do is listen to it and go up so many clicks, and we'll do the same for both batteries, and we'll see how long they last. All right, as you folks know, I like to do real world tests, so to speak. Now, I can't take this out to the lake and I could, and spend the hours running it till the batteries are dead. But once they're dead, and that doesn't do me a lot of good. So I want to know how much, let's just say, battery life I can get. So what I've got here is I've got them both hooked up in parallel. Not series, but in parallel. I want to see how long 200 amp hour batteries will last me. Now, I got the remote here that doesn't tell me what speed I'm going, but if I go start it, so I can go stop, then I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So 20 is the top. And if it's like all my other Minn Kota trolling motors that have the digital readout, it goes in half increments. So that 1, you know, it's a half, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3. So if I go and run it at 10, let's say 10 clicks from stopped. So starting here, that's a half, that's 1. That's 2 clicks. So if I go 10 clicks in total, I will be running half throttle, let's say. And usually when I'm trolling, usually you don't have to go more than half to 6 tops. And I think half is a good place to start. My other trolling motors have and so does this one too, has this little anchor mode. And that anchor mode is very key. I like it because it sits there and holds your boat in place out on windy days, calm days, wherever it is, you hit anchor, and it'll hold this part of the boat in location. The rest of the boat might go like this, like a, you know, let's call it a wind vane in the wind, but the nose will stay where you put it, which is what I find is a very nice feature. Every time I stop, I don't have to throw an anchor overboard. All right, enough said about the Minn Kota Power Drive. This is about DC House and how they're going to hold up. Now, I also want to let you know that I get no less than 3 to 5 emails a day wanting to partner up with me about sponsoring something on the channel. Now, I will admit most of those things don't align with my channel, so I just, you know, delete them. I don't acknowledge them. But when something comes along that is actually useful for the channel and something that my people that like to watch me might like to have a knowledge of and purchase possibly, then I'll invite, let's say, the sponsorship on board. And there again, if you're seeing this video, it's because this performed well. You want to know how well? Keep on watching through the video till the end. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. It helps the channel out. So without further ado, I'm going to get my little tub and put this in the water, and we're going to run it. So it has some resistance. Now, is it the same resistance it would have in the water out on the lake? Not quite. But at least it'll be apples to apples, you know, because you could have a windy day and a not windy day. Let's just call this is my best controlled environment. All right, let's get some water. Now this I'm going to have pointing, so it's doing like this. It's going to be circulating. It'll get the water churning, and it'll be just like if your boat's moving, more or less. Not exactly the same, but close enough. Now while that's filling up, let's talk a little more about the DC house. It's got 1,280 watt hours. And it features more than 4,000 cycles. It's lighter weight, more than 10 years lifespan, and that's based on how many times, you know, how many times you could, let's just say, typically charge and discharge 4,000 times, you know. It's a deep cycle battery and built-in battery management system, which is built-in BMS, so it's going to protect itself, as it were. Now the main coders will also power off once they hit a certain level of discharge, and the nice thing is the battery will maintain itself that way as well, so you don't over discharge it. That's so important. All right, our water tub's full within an inch of the top. Start this now. I'm going to show you. It's currently not running. We'll take it down to the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's moving a lot of water. So we're going to let that run. As you can tell, that's still going to take some effort to turn that kind of water. It's a lot of movement. We'll check back here. Let's just give it an hour and we'll check back in. Like I said, I got the timer going right there. Alrighty, it's been an hour and 7 minutes so far. Still churning. We'll check back in another, let's say another hour. Now one thing I forgot to do, I wanted to check the voltage at the beginning of running this, but we're an hour in. Let's see what we got here. Hope you guys will be able to see that or not. 13.19 volts. Can't be mad at that. All right, we had to switch to nighttime mode here. It got dark. 2 hours and 7 minutes so far. Let's see what the voltage says we're still at. Get over here in the light so I can see it. 13.19. Still holding good. You can hear the water churning. All right, folks. Well, now at 4 hours and 4 minutes. I'm going to stop the test here. Where's my remote? So we're going to shut her down for the night. We'll pick this up tomorrow night. This may not be 100% the proper way to do it. I'm also going to trip my breakers. So the batteries have absolutely no way anything can drain from it. And we're going to pick up tomorrow night or tomorrow after work. And let's just see how many more hours. Now, these batteries will have some time to recover. So when I compare it to my other batteries, I will run them also for 4 hours and then shut it down and then pick it up the next night. So we're apples to apples all the way around. Alrighty, we're setting up for the next day of testing. We got 4 hours of testing in last night. We're going to go ahead and trip the breakers back on. I just heard the trolling motor go beep, 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 like it does. Let's reconnect it with power. And let's see when we hit the prop on. It beeped. So now we're off. Now I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's churning some water at 10. That's half the speed this thing can go. Now, something I'll catch you up on a little bit. Let's get the timer going. Don't want to miss out on the timer time. Timer, clocks, stopwatch. There we go. 4 hours and 4 minutes is where we left off. Plus or minus 30 seconds. It'll be fine. Now this says 1280 watt hours. It's a 100 amp hour battery. So I'm not good at the calculations on this, but what I figured that this is supposed to wide open draw 50 amps. Running these at 50%, it should draw 25 amps. So theoretically, it should run 8 hours. Now, I don't know if that 1280 and the 100 amp hour, you know, that there's a cushion there because you're not supposed to drain them all the way down. They are deep cycle, but there's some cushion there so you can get 100 amp hours out of your 1280 watt hours. Comment below. But the real world test with a mediocre knowledge person on this. Let's just put it that way. So we got it churning and burning. Let's see if I can get my voltmeter to do voltmeter things. I do like the fact that if I accidentally leave this one on, it powers itself off. I don't know why it won't read the volts right now. It doesn't make sense to me. Back on. Whoosh. That's a rush of power. All right. We'll check back in here at 5 hours in. We're 4 hours and 7 minutes right now. We'll see how things are going. All right, folks. 5 hours and 7 minutes. 13 point, what was it? I just had it. 13.18. Yeah, 13.18 volts. Still going strong. 5 hours in. Let's see how she goes. See you in another hour. All right, folks, I think I skipped hour 6, but here's hour 7. And you can still hear the water's churning like it always had 7 hours in. So that's good and strong. We'll be back in another hour. And it's 13.13 volts coming off the batteries. I just checked it. All right, folks, I screwed this up. I'm not sure, but it's 8 hours and 13 minutes so far. I know that's hard to see now. At 8 hours and 13 minutes, I don't know how to go back to my other mode. I touched something, I hit lap. So, anyway, 8 hours and 14 minutes. And let's see what the voltage is running here. I'd love to have done all this in the daylight, but you know, I only have a certain amount of daylight. 13.05 volts. So, it's starting to drop a little bit, but that's after over 8 hours of running. So, I'm not mad at that so far. So we'll stop this for tonight. Take a break. All right, shut her down for tonight. We'll pick this up again tomorrow night. All right, folks, it's evening number 3. It's approximately hang on, 4:25. So I got a few hours to get some things done. And let's just go back. So I accidentally hit the lap button and I forgot to turn it off. So we're currently at 8 hours and 11 minutes. So we're going to hit the start right now and hit lap. That way the next lap starts off tonight. So it'll be 8 plus the number in white there. But we do have 13.12 volts still at the battery. Checking with the voltmeter here. And we're getting ready to kick it off one more time. So let's go ahead. I just started the clock. Whoa, that just took off. I'm gonna take it all the way down to make sure I'm at 50%. So there's 1. Things are just starting to move. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's what it's still churning like. We're checking on it every hour again. Honestly, it's gone over 8 hours at this pace. And according to my calculation, if this thing did draw 50 amps wide open, it should drive 25 amps at half throttle, let's call it, and the 100 amp hours should have lasted 4 hours. But I have 2 of them hooked up, so it should go 8 hours. So we're past the 8 hours. It's still going strong. Let's see how long she'll go. Hopefully I have to do this again tomorrow night, to be honest with you. But there again, my estimation is I think it's probably going to go 12 to 14 hours total. But we'll keep checking on it. The BMS here will shut it down. The Minn Kota will shut it down when it gets below a certain voltage as well. So it should, both between the two things, it should be protecting itself. Now, something I want to mention while this is still churning and burning. It'd be funny if it just shut off right now, but then again, it wouldn't. These batteries, you can put 2 of these, if you got the space for it. 2 of these batteries here weigh less than 1 100 amp hour lead acid or AGM deep cycle battery. They're heavy. So 2 of these weigh less than 1. So if weight's a concern, you can get more power and more energy out of these for less weight than you can off 1 lead acid. So that's just something to keep in mind. It's very important to keep in mind because I've been switching my boats over to lithium. It's not a cheap proposition, but in the long haul, when this says they can do 4,000 cycles, which would go, estimated 10 years, lead acids won't last that long, and they won't keep their power up for as long over the years as well. Even if they might go 4 or 5 years, they don't have the same amount of amp hours left in them as they did when they were new and sold as new. All right, and now as far as degradation on LiPos, I haven't had them long enough to be able to tell you with any certainty what they do. There's a lot of them out there, a lot of brands out there, but right now we're once again dealing with the DC House brand. There'll be a link in the description. My understanding is that working with them, there possibly might be a discount code in the description, so I encourage you to look in the description for the link and the discount code. It'll take you to the website. Use the discount code and save you some money. I have no idea how long the discount code will be for. I don't know if it'd be indefinite, but the nice thing about them issuing a code is they can track how many people have bought. Now, is this the ideal time of the year to buy trolling motor batteries? If it was lead acid, I'd say nope. But lithiums, the life is the life of it, which is cool. All right, we'll check back in another hour to see where we're at on this guy right here. So far, I'm pretty thrilled. All right, folks, the lap counter now shows on the white one here 1 hour 9 minutes. So we're into hour 9, basically 9 hours and 20 minutes total. So she's still going, still churning, still boiling the water. See you at hour 10 or so. All right, back out here after dark once again, folks. There again, the white line there. We're at 2 hours and 59 minutes. So basically right at 3 hours plus 8 hours. 11 hours this has been running steadies now since we started this whole process. And I checked the voltage, and the voltage at the batteries is 12.99. And these 12.99, and these are claiming 12.8 volts. So it's still good. I don't know how many amp hours are left. We're 11 hours in. So, and it's still churning. The same amount of churn and burn it's been doing the whole time. So we're gonna come back. I got 7:25. I can come back out here at 8:30. That'll be 12 hours even. And then we'll shut her down for the night. That'll be 4 hours for tonight. So we've been doing 4 hours every night, not recharging the batteries, just letting them sit for 4 hours. And when I checked the voltage last night to tonight, when I finished up last night to tonight, was exactly the same voltage. So I'm pretty stoked about that. It's not doing too bad. You know, this right now, 12 hours, I could go out early in the morning, troll 12 hours straight and have enough battery. That's impressive. But I've also got a lot of amp hours here. We got 2 100 amp hour batteries, and they're performing very well. So right now we're gonna see you in another hour. There we are, 3 hours, 50 seconds. So we're at 11 hours and 11 minutes. Whoops, where am I pointing this? 11 hours and 11 minutes so far, so we'll see you in another hour. All right, folks, we're back out here, and you guys ain't gonna believe this. It's still going. I'll show you. This is no joke. 12.77 volts, so we're just under the 12.8 volts that it shows there. We're at 4 hours and 25 minutes tonight. So now we're at 12 hours and 36 minutes. So we're gonna stop it right there. We're gonna stop the clock, and we're gonna, boom, shut her down for the night. Unbelievable. I cannot believe, I mean, I can't do the calculations. I'm not sure how many amperages I'm drawing and all that fun stuff. So we got a cobweb, yeah. That's just coming off this thing, but 12 hours of significant runtime. I mean, at half throttle, basically. We'll pull this boat around a lot at a decent speed, at a decent rate. So we'll pick this up again tomorrow night. We'll check the voltage again before we kick it off again. Probably be 12.77, which is what it currently is, but I cannot complain. At this point, I cannot complain. I'm actually kind of worried that my other batteries that I'm comparing these to will actually hold up as good as these are. We'll find out. We'll find out. All righty, folks. This is evening number 4. And I'm just here to tell you, this is impressing me so far. Let's look at the, we're at 4 hours and 25 minutes is where we left off last night. The previous run was 8 hours and 11 minutes. So now we're up to 12 hours and 36 minutes, 12 and a half hours so far this has run. And so let's check the voltage real quick. Just see what I got here for voltages is. Now, I'm saying I'm impressed, but I don't know what it should be doing. 13.1. We were down to 12.7 last night. Obviously, there's no recharging happening here. This is just hooked up, ready to go again tonight. We're going to go ahead and hit the button to start it. And that starts off where it left off is what it does. So that's still at the same thing it was. We're going to start the timer again. I just hit the lap thing, so now it's going to count up a new timer for tonight. And we'll see how, there again, it was 12.7 volts last night. It's 13 point whatever I just said. So obviously let's just say they recover, they balance out a little bit sitting. But there it goes, there it goes. We're going to keep an eye on it and just see how far it goes into tonight. This is really darn cool so far. I don't know what I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting 12 hours so far. But maybe my calculations aren't great. But right now, if this goes another 4 hours, let's just say you got 2 8-hour days of trolling on one set of batteries without recharge for a weekend fishing trip. That's hard to beat. Plus, if I got my onboard charger, when I hook that back up to them, you know, it's a 5 amp hour charger, or 5 amp charger. It's going to put 5 amps in. So overnight, I could actually regain a lot of capacity if I was out somewhere. Or if I have, let's just say I've got my EcoFlow that I hook up to this, which is an offshore power type situation. I can plug into that and get a lot of charge in it. Say if I was in a remote location that did not have an easy power hookup. So there's all that. All right, we'll check back in. I've got to run some errands. It's probably going to be a 2-hour gap. All righty, boys and girls. Still churning. We're at 2 hours and 11 minutes this evening. Plus 4.25, plus 8.11. Ignore lap 2, that doesn't count. But, I mean, come on. We're closing in on 15 hours real quick. And there ain't no quit in it. So far, that makes me very happy. Let's take a look at the old volt reading. Well, helps if we turn it on. 12.87 on a 12.8 volt battery after almost 15 hours. We'll check back in the, let's call it the 16-hour mark, which would be 8 plus 4 plus 2 plus 2. Unbelievable. I'm happy. Now, do I know what my lifetime batteries that I currently have will do? No. But I will know once I get done running this test, and I'm gonna run the lifetimes. Let's see if they run as long as this. And I won't have to check on it every hour just because I'm trying to get a feel for these. All I know is that I got a certain amount of hours once I hook the lifetimes back up here to make sure can they keep up with the DC house? Can the DC house keep up with my current lifetimes? There again, the agreement I made with DC house is they have to perform as good, at least as good as my lifetime batteries. And if they do that, it's a winner. Now, they do get a little grace here because they do cost less than the lifetime batteries at the moment. And then they have some good sales on them as well. Plus, like I said, check the promotional code that'll come out with this video and we'll find out. Check the description is what I'm saying. I'd put it up on the screen, but the description is going to be where all the meat and potatoes is at. All right. Still going. See you in a bit. You look at the white numbers up top, 2 hours and 58 minutes, added up to 4 hours and 25 minutes, added up to 8 hours and 11 minutes. We're over 15 hours in. Easily like 15 and a half hours, over 15 and a half hours in right now. Still churning. I checked the voltage. I got 12.87 volts at the battery right now while it's being consumed. When does it stop? We'll find out. And we're going to get there. It's just when. We'll check back in a minute. All right, folks. I can't remember this is night 3 or 4, but we are currently, look at the top line there. 4 hours and 25 minutes into tonight. So if we add all these up, there's 8 hours and 11, 4 hours and 25, 4 hours and 25. So that's 8 hours 50, 16 hours 60. Is that right? 16 hours? We are 17 hours in total now for time. And still churning. I just checked the voltage on the battery. We're at 12.8 or 12.7 volts on our 12.8 volt 100 amp hour battery from DC House. 17 hours. I'm gonna go. I can go another hour. It'll be 9:30 at night. Then I'll shut her down for the night. I don't know what else to do. I might not be able to finish this test before I go on vacation. This is impressing me. This is now. There again, like I said before earlier in a short segment, you guys are seeing this in short burst, but we'll see how these compare to the lifetime. But so far, 17 hours of just going, that's a lot of trolling, a lot of fishing time. That's all there is to that. So we'll check back in another hour, give you a report out on the total time, and then we might just have to shut her down and pick this up when I get back, because I got to go out of town. And we're not putting any charge back on these batteries. They're just going to sit. And we'll see what they do. But 17 hours, a guy can't complain about that so far. Well, folks, to say the least, I got a little bit distracted. Our time now is showing 6 hours and 17 minutes for this evening. So right now we're at 12, 24, 12, 20. Is that right? 12 plus 8, 20 hours. And almost 20 hours and 45 minutes that this thing has run. Is that right? 6? Yeah, no, I'm sorry, 6/4. 18, there we go, that's better. 18 hours. My goodness, we're at 18. Just another quick snapshot. It's the red one, the green one, and the upper white one is the hours. Lap 2, I don't know what happened there, but I accidentally hit lap and I didn't mean to. But yeah, we're at 10, 18 and a half hours of runtime so far, and it was 12.43 on the volts at this moment in time. So I gotta shut her down for tonight because it's past my bedtime and I should be in bed right now. I gotta get up, be at work by like 6 tomorrow, so I gotta get up at 5. So anyway, we're shutting her down for tonight, and we'll pick this up again. Wow. Alrighty, folks, it's been a couple weeks since we left this here. I had the batteries, we ran them for like 18.5 hours. There was still some life left in them for sure, but I had to leave and I had to go away for 2 weeks, and now I'm back. Well, I came back, went to hit the on button, and the batteries were already, the BMS system had taken over. It says, no bueno, we're not running you anymore on the DC house. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm happy with 18.5 hours. Honestly, according to my calculations, they shouldn't have ran more than 16 hours. So the fact that when I left it, they were still going strong, still had 12.7 volts in a 12.8 volt battery, I'm not unhappy with that. I would heavily endorse this battery for sure, but I got to do my due diligence here. I have a couple of my own personally bought LiFePO Lifetime 12.8 volt 100 amp hour batteries. Should be pretty much an apples to apples. The only difference between these batteries and the other batteries is the other batteries were just a little taller. They came up flush to the top here, so my post would actually stick up here. And these are a little shorter and they're longer. So, you know, buy the battery size that you need, obviously. But we're going to fire this up now. I've got the stopwatch here. Let's go. Go. And we're going to let this run. So I had told the people at DC House that as long as their battery lasted as long as my current batteries, then I'm happy to endorse it. The fact that they already lasted, let's say 2.5 hours longer than they should have, according to the amp hours that they have, I can't complain. So there again, for the dollar for dollar, the DC House versus the Lifetime, when I bought these versus what the DC House batteries cost, the DC House batteries are a better value overall. And these batteries at the time were a better value than my batteries that I bought, 60 amp hour batteries that I paid for two. I paid $1,000 for 2 years ago. So these batteries keep coming down in price, and it definitely, with 4,000 cycles on these batteries is what they're rated for. And so 4,000 cycles, how they calculate it up and how, you know, usage, discharge, recharge, that's if you 100% take them down, bring them back up, you know, their minimum to their maximum, minimum to their maximum. 4,000 cycles. Now, if you take it down halfway and bring it all the way back up, let's just call that's a half a cycle, so to speak. So at least that's what I've watched and I've read and I studied, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, please. But so far the DC House is doing what it's supposed to do. The light times are going to run. We've got the clock ticking. These started off, I checked the voltage at 13.5 volts, 13.57. The DC House, I have to go back to the beginning of the video, started up that high or higher. So we're gonna let this run. We'll check back in at the end. Basically, I'm gonna come back 18 hours from now, and if that's still running, great. If it's not running, DC House for the win. So we'll see you then. We're gonna conclude this video with some information. So right now, what you see in here is the DC House batteries, the 12.8 volt, 100 amp hour LiPo batteries that I've been testing against my Lifetime 100 amp hour LiPo batteries. And I'll tell you what, these performed flawlessly. So I ran it intermittently through a few days. And then when I got back from vacation, I decided, you know, I need to do a little more testing. And so now I knew they lasted about 18.5 hours roughly. Right at about 18.5 hours. Running them over the course of 3 days, about 4 to 5 hours a day. So then I thought, okay, now let's just run it. Now that I know it'll go 18 hours, let's go longer. When I say longer, more continuous use. So what I did is I charged them back up to full. I put them on here, dropped the prop in the water, ran it for straight through the night. And yes, did I put some more wear and tear on my trolling motor? You bet I did. But it's all in the name of science. Oh, that hurt. What you doing down there, Toast? Being a kitty cat. Anyway, we ended up going just over 18.5 hours again, running straight through. So then I did the same thing with my lifetime LiPos, charged them up to full, put them in here, same thing. Somewhere between 18.5 and 19 hours, boom, they shut off and it's done. The BMS takes over and says, nope, we're not draining these any lower because we need to protect these things. So I do like that about these, that they have the BMS. Now, this is a manual deploy setup. The concern would be on a LiPo, I've got the auto deploy trolling motor, for instance, and that one, if these batteries are dead, nothing moves and it's stuck down in the water. And then I think there's a manual way you can do it, but I haven't done it yet. But knowing that these will last 18 hours at pretty much full power, it drives down to like, what was it, 11.8 or 9 volts. And then it goes, nope, we're not going any lower. You depleted me enough. But the other thing I would say about DC house, see this compartment here? My light times go from here to here. And they're just about a quarter inch shorter than these, so that these bolts would actually just be just below here. But yeah, these are a lot smaller. I can't say they're any lighter, but they're smaller physically. And keep in mind, 2 of these weigh less than one, I think it's 60 or 70 or 80 amp hour lead acid deep cycle battery. And I can't guarantee it, but I know in the history I've had with deep cycle lead acid batteries, these will last most likely longer. The lead acid, let's just say, it doesn't have the BMS system built into it. You got to rely on your charger and not depleting it too low or taking it too deep. This here takes a lot of that headache and mystery away. So the answer in conclusion is yes, these are good batteries. And I have 3 lifetime batteries. I now have 2 DC house batteries. If I need to buy some more batteries, what am I going to buy? DC house. Why? The cost. So same performance, costs less. That's a bargain in my book. So these, I believe, are, and don't quote me, I'll leave a link in the description of how to get to this website so you can peruse and look at what you might need. Don't be afraid to ask the online help for any suggestions. These are deep cycle batteries, so that's what you want, is deep cycle for something like this. But yeah, I would buy these again in a heartbeat. These were part of a promotion, so I got these for free. I'll be honest with you, I'm not gonna lie to you folks, but if I needed 2 more, I would go here because I think it was like $400 and some odd for 2. So that's like just over $200 for that. I bought 2 60 amp hour batteries, and now the prices keep coming down on these LiPos in general, but I think the DC house is leading the charge on lower prices, because I bought 2 of them. I can't remember the brand name. They were 60 amp hours for my StarCraft, and it cost me $989, I think it was. It's really close to $1,000 for 2. Then I bought the LiPos, lifetime ones. I bought 3 of them for the same price, they were about $330 some a piece. So that was less. I got another battery for the same. This here, I could get 4 for that same $1,000. Actually, much less than $1,000. Actually, just under $900. So this is a better value all the way around. Size-wise, more compact. Amp hour-wise, same amp hours. Cost-wise, a better deal. So there again, look in the description below. I'm working with DC House. They said they would provide me with possibly provide me with a discount code for these, promotional code or whatever else. Look down in the description. If you don't know how to do that on your TV, most phones it's easy. You just punch the button and go down. If you're on your TV, arrow up, and then it'll show stuff, and then you can arrow around in there and you can find it and then write it down, or take your phone and take a picture of the screen and then go check it out. I encourage you to do so if you need one of these. These have no liquid in them to worry about. Even though most deep cycles are maintenance-free lead acid, they're heavy. This thing here, I can carry 2 of these with one hand. Yes, I can carry a lead acid with one hand, but I'm not gonna wreck my elbow or my shoulder trying to do so, or strain my fingers. These are easy. So in conclusion, great product, highly recommend. And there again, you guys don't know, I only recommend things and endorse things that I believe in. And believe you me, I've spent approximately 3 weeks performing different tests on these to make sure they're going to live up to, so when you order one, you don't go, that guy, that Michael's Backyard Marina don't know jack. Well, I don't want that to happen. Integrity and reputation is everything with me, so I appreciate it if you guys would go over to DC House, show them some love, and tell them Michael's Backyard Marina sent you. All right, I'm gonna clean this. I'm finally gonna empty this container out, put my boat away, put this back down where it belongs, because we got some rain coming in, and I wanna make sure she's secured up for the rain. All right, folks, be kind to one another. Remember, if it ain't broke, fix it till it is, and we'll see you on the next video if I'm lucky. Be good to one another, and I'm out.